I couldn't believe, Stugotz, that Lucy, and she does not mind going after the icons and the popular people. She took out Lee Corso recently in a way that was undercutting and cruel.
I was trying to help. I was being very nice and compassionate. What are you talking about?
You want Lee Corso off the broadcast.
I want him to not have to go out there and work every week when he's clearly not there. I don't know why you think I'm being so mean about this. I think I'm being quite kind.
He wants to work.
So sometimes you can't let people do what they want.
We let 80-year-olds decide our reproductive rights, okay? We can let Lee Corso pick a winner in a college football game, Lucy.
I don't think it should be either way. I don't know what you guys want me to do about this.
Look, man, 80-year-olds run the world. I saw Terry Bradshaw and Jimmy Johnson on the most popular of the pregame shows, and Jimmy Johnson is literally 80. They look their age. Hell, Howie's looking his age.
Howie's a young 80, though. He's not 80.
No, Howie's not
There's
80.
No way.
Howie is not
I said
80.
Jimmy's
Whatever
80.
Howie is, he's
Jimmy
young.
Johnson is 80.
Yes.
And Jimmy's a young 80. He's a young 80,
Yeah, well,
Jimmy.
secret to aging.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you right now, when I'm 80, I'm not going to be working. I'm not podcasting when I'm 80. I don't get it.
You're Gen Z. You're going to be working till the day you die, Missy.
It's going to be like 10 years. The weather's not looking good. Climate's bad.
Climate is bad. Greece and Morocco. Climate's bad. Put it on the poll, please, at Le Batard Show. Do we have 10 years left? Yes or no?
Well, this is grim.
Well, she did it.
I mean,
You accused me of being mean to Lee Corso when I haven't
Well,
been.
but this is where you
fired him last week.
This is where
didn't fire
she
him.
didn't fire him. She's trying to help him by firing him.
Oh,
I believe
sorry.
he's 80.
I can't believe it.
Jimmy,
I can't believe it.
He looks
He
fantastic.
does. Amazing. Yeah.
He's going to outlive me.
The keys.
Like, it is a lovely life. It really is.
Man, I've been doing the keys wrong because the keys make me feel like I'm going to live a lot less every time I go there.
He's 5 years older than Terry Bradshaw.
No
that
way.
seems impossible.
The keys.
Terry Bradshaw's the age where there's just random Band-Aids on his face.
Yeah. An old 80. Yeah.
Yeah, my dad's at that age now where he's like, Roma can't jump on me. I'll bleed out.
Billy, why are you covering?
it felt bad.
You're covering your mouth with your hand.
That made me, very
felt
sad,
bad, yeah.
deeply
I'm
sad,
sorry.
Billy.
I'm sorry, TV.
Put her on the poll at Le Batard Show. Is Terry Bradshaw at the age where he's got random bandages on his face?
Jimmy, on the other hand, not a single Band-Aid anywhere.
Lucy, this is not the worst of it, though, because you went after Lee Corso, an American icon, a Disney icon, an ESPN icon, and you're not alone. A lot of people are doing that, and ESPN does not like that. I rarely got in more trouble. Man, I had to go up there before I even worked for them and, had to go up there and explain that when Lee Corso was on with us. And I did not know that he had a stroke the previous offseason, and I asked him if he had been drinking, and I didn't do it as a joke. I was confused. And this was 15 years ago or 10 years ago.
I still feel it.
That was bad. That was when Dan learned maybe don't read every text.
You're going straight to hell.
I mean, it was an accident.
It was bad. You were just trying to entertain. It was poor
It was
judgment.
an accident.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't an accident by
5-year-old said.
you saying. Some of our texters want me to ask you. If,
I did not know that he had a stroke. It was
No,
an
I knew
accident.
that part, but it was still a lapse in judgment.
It's not an accident, though. It's out there for everyone to
You
know.
don't
I mean,
need to relitigate this. You apologize.
I'm saying it was a mistake, and I got in trouble. He was slurring, and I didn't know. I thought we had just had Mean Gene Okerlund on, who was also slurring, and he happened to be drinking.
Yeah, that was interesting context that we applied in our defense. We just had Mean Gene Okerlund on, and he readily admitted to drinking. And
everyone's
therefore,
drinking.
Dan thought it was fine to make that canon.
It's an accident.
It was happy hours, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It was an accident, as I mentioned. Regardless, Lucy is going where I have not heard many people go, Stugotz. It has been declared by ESPN and by America. We want more McAfee. Maximum McAfee. ESPN is investing the way they did in Stephen A. Smith. You are going to get a whole lot of McAfee. Lucy already wants less McAfee.
I just don't want the simulcast. I'm fine with him on game day, but I was trying to watch the YouTube TV quad box with Texas, Alabama. I wanted Oregon, Texas Tech in there. And the only Texas-Bama game I could get was the McAfee simulcast where it's just him on the sideline with Matthew McConaughey.
That was a weird placement. I was watching the exact same thing. It was a 3-box, and it's like, I don't know do they know that they put on the simulcast? I feel like they wanted us to see Alabama, Texas, but they put on the simulcast.
It was the game of the, I know it's week 2, but game of the year, the matchup we've all been looking forward to, and I can only watch McAfee on the
McConaughey was
sideline.
awesome, though. Come on.
I
But
don't
aren't they
want
trying to
that.
force you to watch McAfee? That's
You
what they're
don't
trying
want
to do, right?
McConaughey?
Yeah.
You don't want McConaughey reacting live to a Texas touchdown? That was awesome.
I want the clip on social. I'll watch that when they play Rice. I don't want it for Texas, Alabama, where I genuinely care about this game and want to see it. I'm not anti-McAfee, and I'm saying that because I am looking out for my DMs. I would like to have a nice day today. Yeah. But I just don't want the simulcast. I don't need all of this.
I was
McAfee.
thinking the whole time that should have been us. That's what I was thinking. It's like we could have been doing this at ESPN.
I was thinking the whole time that should have just been McAfee the entire time for a 37th of the cost. They had him there. Now he's a bonus.
Chris, you were doing what? You thought that could have been us?
No, I was just thinking when we were at ESPN, like that was the kind of stuff, like because he had his producers on the other side of the field, they were just talking the whole
but
time.
did you not see how drunk Le Batard went?
Yeah.
Well, you know,
Dunk
You have
Lebatard.
Dan on
You
the
made it, Dunk
sidelines with
Lebatard.
McConaughey? Is that what you have? I'm with you.
McAfee was enjoying being there. So.
Well, let's talk about this
Right.
for a second.
There's that.
Showed up
Wants
on
to
time.
be there, yeah.
Showed up on time. That's cool.
Let's talk about this part for a second, because this is quite the squandered opportunity. And it's not just because Drunk Dunk Le Batard was our first foray into the simulcast business and I'd been drinking and cursed. It's not just that. What is funny about what just happened with McAfee is I don't know if it's so, because I can't go back in time and know if it would actually be possible to have my politics and be what that is, because it's inescapable that post George Floyd, what happened there is they told me focus groups showed no politics with this. And that show's not going to have politics, but it looks a little bit like ours, like all of it, the fun formula and all that stuff. But at the center of it is a professional wrestler who's vastly more entertaining than me and a star. Like he's going to be clear, was already headed towards stardom, and now this is going to be rocket fuel. And by the way, I need to go back for a second and just make sure everyone understands. God, do I admire his story. Bet on himself, did it his way, and now cashes all of the king's riches. But ESPN chose that over Bomani and me and Sarah and whatever it is that we were doing that doesn't fit with the politics of whatever McAfee's doing, which is not going to go near Trump and is going to rah-rah the hell out of football very well all season.
They chose a guy who loves football.
That's correct.
That's it.
That is correct.
That's what they chose.
And yes, they chose that, and it's going to be wildly successful. Wildly successful because it's one of their giant investments. And he is going to explode, and they're going to explode, and you're going to get like big numbers all around First Take. McAfee's going to be there, and he's going to be one of the signature things. They're going to have only 6 or 7 people who are the faces of the network, and McAfee is going to be one of them. But I don't know if we could have ever actually been there given what my politics are. Like, I don't think it's possible.
Agreed.
Yep. I know it for a fact. By not working there anymore.
Yeah.
Wasn't hard to figure that one out.
And you just don't love football the way he does.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, you don't stand on chairs and you don't do the rah-rah thing. You
Do that Alabama thing he did.
Would it
Yeah,
kill
yeah.
you to do a front flip off of a wrestling ring?
Time! Roll!
Yeah.
Stand on the swivel chair.
Stand on
He
the
did.
chair.
he
Let's
did
start
that.
here. Just
Yeah.
stand on your chair.
Then a
did
front
that on
flip
the
off
A-ball.
a cage.
This
Through a table.
the time!
Cut off your sleeves.
Just stand on the
They
chair.
made
Wear a
me-
tank top.
They made me wear a jacket.
Put your leg on the table. Weirdly.
I'm like,
I don't know what they're talking about.
Can someone get Dan a large iced tea?
I was doing the
They're
show.
motivated.
I was doing the
Respect
show.
Chuck Pagano.
I was doing the show with my father, in a kitchen.
Respect Chuck Pagano. That's how you do it.
Is it? That's how you do it?
No, I think this is how you do it, actually.
Stand on your
You
chair,
play,
Dan.
yeah.
Come on. Try to stand on your chair.
No,
Do it.
I'm not gonna. I can't do it.
You've got to respect Chuck Pagano.
I have no idea what's going on anymore.
How much?
I watch a
McAfee
lot of it
he
on mute.
watches. He watches is what it is.
I watch it a lot. I like Pat.
But you don't listen to it. You just watch
I
it.
watch it on mute. I'd
On
like
mute,
to.
like Dan.
Yeah, on mute. Well, I was watching it on mute. I was at like a fundraising event, and I was just captivated by what was going on the screen because it wasn't the Pat McAfee setup. It was the game day set, which I thought was a mistake. You need Pat McAfee on one foot.
He was
up,
standing, though.
talking to the group, the dais. There was no real introduction, which I guess there's something for that, but it's a whole new audience. And I just thought, we're changing the show a little bit.
No, but he gets to curse, and they're gonna.
He said it inside of like 5 minutes. So I'm like, yeah, curse words. Awesome.
But that's where the edge is. It's not near the Trump stuff. That's as dangerous as it's going to
Yeah,
be.
but he said,
But that's what he's going to be too hot for ESPN. Like he's the hot.
No, he's not.
no, he's not, because he's got the great diffuser if he ever steps in it. Boy, Hawk, people are mad. I was just saying. Uniforms are bad. Nasser's bad.
Oh, no.
Those are two bad things. And people got upset. If they're going to get upset about that, then they're not going to like Chuck Pagano. Where were you there, Chris?
On the bright side, Lucy, your mentions will be fine. R.I.P. Mike Ryan. Yeah. But you can handle it.
I'm the biggest McAfee guy there. I love Pat. I think he's a.
You're the
I think
biggest
he's a-
fan there is? Is that what you're saying?
No. I was a huge supporter. I tried to get Pat, and Pat.
We all were.
I think Pat got insulted by the notion of, hey, come on the LeBatard network. We're trying to build something, because he was very clearly right, which is he's got a brand of his own. I mean, Pat would do calls on their broadcast for us. Yeah, I thought he was a mega talent well before then. He's made $1 million in what, 3 different careers? I'm out of breath by doing Chuck Pagano.
Chris Cody, all you thought was longing. I could have been out there in a cowboy hat. That could have been me.
That's my style, man. I was enjoying it. I like his vibe, and I was jealous.
I was
like,
on game day. We were so close, Dan.
Yeah.
We were there.
Most people don't want to feel bad about their politics. He doesn't make them feel bad when they're watching ESPN. You do.
A number of things that I want to talk with Mike Schur about. We still haven't talked today about Coco Gauff, and we should, and we need to, because, God, a lot of shit happened this weekend, man.
Yep.
But
Sports
Mike,
made me dizzy, man.
yes,
Yeah.
but Mike Schur is with us now, and he's at the center of this writer's strike, and things are getting tense. I'm fascinated by everything happening in the business world of entertainment. Disney and Charter have resolved their high-profile disputes, Stugotz, and just in time for ESPN to be able to televise Monday Night Football.
Weird how that happens, isn't it? Yeah, it's incredible
strongest-
timing.
Football being the strongest entity in the. That's how you solve your strike. The way that you could solve your strike is just for the writers to own something related to football, and then everybody would just get back to work.
If the writers could script the games and then make them union shows, yes, they would have to pay us. There's no question. But that's always what this was about. It was about a little bit about college football, a little bit about pro football, and so there was no question they were going to resolve this before Monday Night Football. So, this sort of brinksmanship, every time it happens, and it happens once every couple of years with a different carriage fee issue, it gets a little more intense. I actually thought this one had a chance of not being resolved. I thought that there was a chance that Disney had pushed the cable companies, the carriers too far, and that they were going to actually go through one Monday night without allowing people to watch ESPN. But at the end of the day, money wins. So they resolved it, and they'll resolve the next one too, I'm sure.
Well, when you say
years.
money wins, though, you're at the middle of a fight that I believe is noble, historic, important. You have put your life and important things on hold in order to lead the writers in what is just simply a noble cause. Hey, CEOs who run all of entertainment and make all of the money, can you just be slightly less greedy dip? Can you be slightly less? Just slightly, just a little bit less. Treat writers like human beings. You need the content. You need the entertainment and creativity. It seems like all of these bloated CEOs don't exactly know how to extract themselves from the situation that they're presently in. But things are now getting tight because they have all the money in the world, and you guys have been on strike for 5 months, and the content hit hasn't actually hurt yet. It's about to. If you guys could hold out for 18 months or a year, you could actually change the game because people would get super pissed off. But so far, they're not noticing the content hit. And here comes, and you tell me if this report is true, Vanity Fair, Drew Barrymore plans on resuming without her writers. It appears, according to Vanity Fair. And if she does that, that's somebody feeling like she's crossing a picket line. Even, Mike, as Ben Affleck and a whole bunch of other people, The Rock, donate $1 million each, 15 celebrities, to just make sure you guys can hold out for a little longer. You received this news how? Is it expected? Is some of this bound to happen? You're not going to have a unified force that's totally unified.
I don't think it was expected. It's unfortunate, in my opinion. I think if you want to be empathetic, you would say that when you are a person who has a show named after you, you are also responsible. You feel responsible for the crew, the folks who work on your show. Those folks are hurting right now because no one's been making TV in a while. And so there is a mindset that says, I will not have any writing. I won't break a strike rule, but I will but do my show, and then the people who work on the show can start making paychecks again. The problem is it just prolongs the strike. The reason strikes work is because you deny the labor and the product that you make to the companies who own those products and hire that labor. And it's just it's a miscalculation, I think. It just doesn't quite... The juice is not worth the squeeze, and it would be better if everyone in both unions just said, we're not doing anything. We're not going to perform any task for these companies until you offer us a good deal. So I don't know how long it's going to last. I think there's already been reports out of New York that folks the WGA picketed the show. It's a struck show. It's a struck company. And people were wearing pins and went into the audience to watch the show and then got kicked out by security. It seems like a mess, and I wish it weren't happening. And I think that the best way to do this when you have to do it, and no one wants to do it. Like, no one wants this. We want to be back at work, both unions. But when you do it, you have to do it completely because that's the way to make it as short as possible.
What do you think is happening with public perception? It seems to me, I don't know if this is a lot different than at any other time in America, but I'm a bit surprised that everybody is just fed up with the billionaires finally saying, hey, you guys don't actually earn in a way that's noble all that you earn as you destroy these industries and sell them for parts, whether it's journalism or entertainment. Something shifted here. I don't remember this many people just siding with labor and saying that someone who's viewed as a brilliant businessman, that Bob Iger doesn't deserve every dollar that he makes. Usually people side with Iger, it feels like to me.
Yeah, well, we've seen this in, like you say, a bunch of industries, right? Like in 2007 when we went on strike, the press was very anti-WGA. All of the articles were talking about you spoiled writers and you're ruining everything and whatever. This time it's been totally different. And my read on it, I don't know if I'm right, but my read on it is that the journalists writing those articles have also had their industry gutted by tech money and VC money. And so now the people who are actually reporting on the labor struggle have been the victims of a really unpleasant labor struggle. And I think you see that in sports when athletic unions went on strike in the past. It was all like, boo, you spoiled jerks, get back to work. But now, like, people are finally starting to realize that just because you inherited a football team from your dad doesn't mean that you're some kind of brilliant genius who deserves everything that you have, and that there might be something to, the football players should have better healthcare. Like, that's a pretty uncontroversial argument. It just never used to get made. So I think there has been a shift. It's not as complete a shift as I would prefer, but I think there has been a shift towards people finally understanding that just because a person has a job, even if it's a high-paying job, that doesn't mean that the onus is completely on those people to get back to work when there's a labor dispute. That maybe the billionaires who own everything could be a tiny bit more generous. And the amount of money that we're asking from these people is minuscule. I mean, it's nothing. It's couch cushion change for Amazon and Apple and Disney and everybody else. So I'm glad that message is finally getting through.
Mike, I've got a problem here, okay? Ouch, that hurt a little bit.
Oh, boy.
I've got a
Hammy?
problem. And then
What's happening?
Well, we're talking about something that I want to talk about that's serious, but I can't get Mike Ryan's attention because he's staring lovingly at McAfee. Like, I find
Hammer Don.
every syllable you're saying to
That's
be
not it. It's the hammer. Yes, we talked about it. He's got a football under his arm, man. I am so motivated.
It hurt my my quads and my hamstrings to do that. I don't
Standing?
Yes.
Shut up. He's talking about the Stillers.
I've got a problem on my hands. I can't do the show with you that's serious about the strike and interesting things. I can't keep the attention of my own staff, the people I'm paying.
Oh, you could do it. We're just not listening.
He quite literally
Yeah.
has more charisma in his pinky finger than you have in your entire body. It is no
McAfee? You're talking about McAfee?
Yeah.
Hammer Don, too.
Hammer.
Is this Mike Ryan post University of Miami football victory, or is this Mike Ryan just drunk on
Look at that.
McAfee?
An opportunity to talk about the program. Look, there was ample opportunity to talk about them last year when they were losing, but this year, not so much.
I just want to know what version of Mike Ryan I'm getting here.
Mr. Schur, if I may say for a second, Miami, they were
Yeah, go ahead.
simulating the snap count the entire game, and they were clapping at the line of scrimmage. And the only thing I want to see clapping are them cheeks on Mrs. Met in my face, Mike Schur. All right, so that's one thing. They're a bunch of cheaters, Dan. And you know who should be cheating? Mrs. Met on Mr. Met. And he can watch if he wants.
Whoa. Whoa. I did not know that he swung that way.
Who said that?
I think I have a boner.
Mike, can you help me? I don't know how to keep up with McAfee. We're falling behind. We've fallen behind.
Talk football.
He's
And
grabbing.
stop making me feel bad about my politics.
I got a top 5 list that could help.
Ah,
Thank you.
Yes.
Wait, he's jogging in place.
Gig 'em.
God.
Oh, man. He is so
Wait, you're
dare you
watching
to do it.
McAfee live in your studio?
Yeah,
as we
can
do
you
this?
pull up your
Hold on.
sleeves?
Yeah, we're
I
we're
dare
a
Dan.
McAfee
He's
watch
doing it.
along.
There
Trying
we
to
go.
listen
Yeah.
too.
Pull
Yeah.
up your sleeves, man.
Yeah.
Keep it down. We're trying to listen. All right, jump off a steel cage now.
Don't keep them down. Pull them up.
You instantly look younger, Dan.
Now do the waving arm thing that we were doing before. Yeah.
Oh, there he goes. He just threw a punch.
You guys used to watch Stephen A. And listening to the podcast, it would just be long gaps of silence where you were just watching
He's
Stephen
wearing a
A.
lavender
What's the same
suit
channel
today.
now?
He was wearing a
And
lavender suit today.
Now it's worse. Now you're watching McAfee and trying to imitate what McAfee
We
is
got to
doing.
keep up. We're falling behind.
I don't think keeping up
I
means
think I'm a
imitating
tank top
exactly
guy
what he's doing.
Our politics are all wrong. I could change my politics, I suppose.
Where does he find the time to work out?
I think it's just the energy of his broadcasts inflate his muscles because he's so full of charisma.
I think it's the morning.
So you're saying his workout is his show?
Yes, I think his
I think you're right, yeah.
I think his charisma is swelling so much that it bursts out and makes muscles.
I know what he's doing with those arm movements. They're meant to accentuate what's going on there in the gun show.
You're right. Mike has a top 5.
Oh,
They
do it with your sleeves up, coward.
they made me wear a sports coat in a kitchen with my dad doing a show in his second language.
And you couldn't say the way that he can. He's so good.
I walked so he could curse.
Stop trying to take credit for his
Really,
success.
I mean, we had the fun formula. We were right there. If I could have just shut up.
No. He is literally the first talent to ever talk to his producers and scream at them. It's tried and true.
What's your top 5 about, Mike?
I chipped one of my teeth, and I had to go to the dentist a number of times in a short span. And I have a top 5 songs you hear in the waiting room of the dentist office.
Are you doing this as a countdown?
This needs more space. We got to do this next segment. We're going to do it in a second with you.
It's a great top 5.
It is a great top 5.
There's 5 OLIs.
What?
Can you tell? Can you tell that he has no place to put his writing? Stugotz was super excited about this top 5 list. There are 5 OLIs. Stugotz has been at the dentist recently.
Yes.
Stugotz is smoking through teeth that shouldn't be smoked through.
Well, I waited the 3 days. I mean, I did.
It didn't sound like you did. It sounded like you waited
I'm
about
telling you, I did. I mean,
90 minutes, it felt like.
it was closer to 90 minutes.
Regardless, what is this list that you're so excited about? It is just songs, 10 songs that you will hear every single time you're going and sitting at the dentist.
It's the top 5 songs that you will hear in the dentist waiting room.
On a football Monday.
That's right.
We're back.
All right.
You're trying to beat McAfee. I'm trying to help you.
Yeah.
This will not
This is
help.
how
This will not help.
OLI number 5. Hello by Lionel Richie.
That's so good.
It is a good one.
Yep.
Is it me?
OLI number 4.
Hello.
I'll Stop the World and Melt with You by Modern English.
Excellent.
OLI number 3. Wonderful Tonight by Eric Clapton.
Mm-hmm.
OLI number 2. Broken Wings by Mr. Mister.
So nice they named him twice.
OLI number 1. How to Save a Life by The Fray. All right, here we go. Number 5.
Had to save a
Top
tooth.
5. Top 5 songs you hear in the dentist waiting room. Number 5. Kiss Me Beneath the Milky Twilight by Sixpence None the Richer. Number 4. Breakfast at Tiffany's by Deep Blue Something.
Just heard it.
Number 3. Only Want to Be With You by Hootie and the Blowfish. That's actually an upset. That should have been number 1. It's crazy that that's number 3.
It's a good list.
Number 2. Yellow by Coldplay. And then number 1 song you will hear in the dentist waiting room. Torn by Natalie Imbruglia.
Damn it, we had a Mo Bamba. We had Mo Bamba back here.
Before we get to stat of the day, I don't want the show to end without us celebrating Coco Gauff. Like, there needs to be dynasties don't get toppled very often. The change can be hard. The replacements always pale compared to their predecessors, but Serena has paved the way for a personality to grab the things that Serena used to have. Did you find yourself that it could make your way through your football Sunday, Mike? All the sports going on
It
this
took me
weekend.
away from football, yeah.
That was the best part of the weekend. Was several things. One, dropping the first set and coming back to win was incredible. And then second, and most importantly, shouting out her haters in her speech was so great. And because to be truly like in the upper echelon of tennis stars, you have to have a personality. If you're anodyne and Sampras-y, no one will care about you. But she is so young and so good, and then proved that she has that charisma and that sort of that like personality that's gonna take her a very long way. And I really loved it. I loved watching her play. I love that she won, and I love that she thanked her haters on center court in New York City after winning the U.S. Open. She thanked her haters. That ruled. I thought it was the best part of the weekend.
I love seeing a Gen Z athlete win because immediately she filmed TikToks. Like, she won, and then it was right on the TikTok. She was FaceTiming her brother. It was so fun, and, like, it engages such a younger audience. We have one of those TikToks to show you. It was awesome.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there, and they say yeah.
When she shouted out her haters, like Mike said, she said, honestly, those who thought they were putting water on my fire, you're really adding gas to it, and I'm really burning so bright right now. goosies. Oh my God. It was like one of the best post-match interviews I've seen in all my days of being a tennis fan, Dan. It was excellent. And she was playing the world #1 player, Arina Sabalenka, I think today was when the new rankings came out, and she's the #1 player in the world.
She's #1 now, yes.
And she is such a good tennis player. She is, when I saw that she made it through to the final against Coco Gauff, I was very nervous. And like Mike said, dropped the first set and then came back and won the damn thing in the second and third sets. It was so cool.
Billy, what are you laughing at back there?
It's just a good joke because I think this was your first tournament, right?
She became a tennis fan like a week ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started watching the U.S. Open in 2022 after I got into pickleball. So shout out to pickleball.
But so Serena Williams and Venus create the pathway for this to exist. Does Chris Evert not like it? Because yesterday's pioneers, Martina Navratilova and Chris Evert, the ones who protected the country club, Stugotz, before Gauff could get here.
Sure.
They're grandmothers now, and tennis tends to not. This can be fun and embraced by young people, and you need young people to evolve the future of the sport and have stars made, but I can imagine Chris Everett has found herself.
Did she say something?
She's grandmotherly now.
But I think we all want American tennis to come back, to be relevant, to be good, and Coco Gauff is the face of Americans tennis for the next 2 decades. It was a special, great moment to watch her do that to win the U.S. Open.
Don't think everyone is Serena Williams, man.
I mean, she's 20 years old, Dan.
I know, but that sport tends to burn out its young people. Not if they're enjoying themselves, but just because Federer and some of these people are able to spoil you that the last 20 years they can play for 20 years, they burn up young people.
I know, but I've seen it with Serena. Venus is still playing. Djokovic still playing. Nadal's kind of hanging on here. Federer played till he's 40. I'd like to think Coco Gauff is going to be around for a couple of decades. Maybe she won't, but at least for the next decade, she is the face of women's tennis and tennis in general. And I love those moments where you see a culmination where, and I hope people understand this, the loneliness that goes into being great at that sport, the amount of time she has spent by herself, hitting that shot down the line on the run and imagining to herself, I'm going to do that when I get an opportunity at the U.S. Open to win it. And then she does it. And then it all spills out. It was such a special moment. She runs straight to her parents. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I've learned through becoming a tennis fan over the past 5 minutes that the commentary in tennis gets criticized a lot because the tennis world's very insular, and you have situations where the Grand Slam winner's coach is also a commentator on the network that carries the footage, which is something that I don't think I've seen happen in other sports before. I don't think that's a normal, regular thing, but that's kind of how tennis commentary goes. And so I think that one thing that people that maybe aren't super into tennis because there hasn't been a young American star maybe in 5 years. I know Sloane Stephens won in 2017, I think, so not that long ago. But she's 19 years old. Carlos Alcaraz is the hottest thing in men's tennis. He lost in the semifinal. He's not an American player, but he's also 19 years old. Two of the best tennis players in the world right now haven't even turned 20 yet.
Shelton's a big star too. He's American.
Ben Shelton had a 150 mile per hour serve in this match, the fastest serve of the tournament. It was absolutely bananas. There's tennis underrated. Someone should have told me to start watching tennis a long time ago.
Remember when Stugotz texted the wrong group chat, $100 on Shelton plus
Shelton
$950?
plus $950. I was like, where'd this?
It was the wrong chat. Yes.
You mean to text your bookie?
It's my tennis gambling chat.
Oh, we're so screwed. McAfee's going to be the biggest show in the world. He's going to dwarf our show. They even have an Iowa person. But instead of it being a girl, it's a straight white male, and I instantly feel so much safer.
Can we clap it up for Coco Gauff, though? Let's clap it up.
Let's clap it up.
Yeah.
Coco Gauff. Yeah, Coco Gauff.
He's going to be. He's already giant. He's much bigger than us already.
Oh, as a show,
Already.
yeah, good digital video pioneer. But we had digital audio, but not anymore. He's kicking our ass.
He's kicking everybody's ass.
Let's clap it up for Pat McAfee.
All right, way to go, Pat.
Let's do stat of the day here.
Let's go.
Does he have a co-host? Or?
As the game passes us by, yes. AJ
The leading tackler in the history of the Green Bay Packers.
That's right. We don't have that. We got.
He's got
Stugotz.
10 kids. I watched the entire show.
Also,
I'm a big fan.
Alcaraz turned 20 in May. Self-edit.
Let's do the stat of the day, please, with Mike Schur.
Start of the day, start of the day. It is your start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. It is your start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. It is your start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. It is the start of the day.
I want to talk about the New York Football Giants for a second. They lost 40-0. They were outsacked 7-0. They lost the turnover battle 3-0. They had a field goal blocked in return for a touchdown, and they threw a pick six. According to OptaStats, no other team in NFL history has had all 5 of those things happen in the same season.
Jesus.
Let alone in one game.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What happened? How can that
They won a road playoff game last year.
How can that possibly be so? You get Darren Waller. Everybody thinks the New York teams are going to be a lot better. And that's crazy, that stat you just gave.
Yeah, it's wild. You know what? An even crazier one, maybe that has nothing to do with the Giants. My friend Brandon told me this. Do you know the 49ers have like $45 million in cap space? They're like number 1 in cap space. They're the best team in football, and they have the most cap space. It's all
like
Brock
$15
Purdy,
million they could spend this year. Yeah.
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 That's what happens when you have a quarterback you don't have to pay, correct?
A 7th, whatever he was, 6th, 7th rounder or whatever that you don't have to pay. He's making a $70,000 a year, that guy.
Wow. Shout out to Brandon.
Thank you, Mike Schur. We appreciate your time, sir.
Also, Every Breath You Take by the Police should have been on.
Oh,
Excellent.
that is
Okay.
a good
So
one.
good.
Another
Number 1, perhaps.
Another OLI. And just an excellent list. Thank you for all your work. This is the reason we're falling so far behind McAfee, because we're doing songs.
No, this is how we beat him. It's lists like that. That's how we beat McAfee.
it's
Mark my
over.
words.
It's over. It's over.
Now they're talking Dolphins.
They're coming for our stuff. Now they're coming for our
Come
stuff.
on, McAfee. The Dolphins are mine. Come on. Get off my block, McAfee. You.
Don't step on that. You're going to break
I
that.
hurt myself. This hurt something in here.
That's a groin.
The game has passed me by.
Never going to get a boner.
Let's get a slow clap for Dan, though, on the way out here. You try.
Let's
clap it up for Dan. Yeah.
And his balls.